Hello trainers, Professor Palm here, and I want to wish all of you out there a Merry Christmas. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and we're almost there. I know it's just a little bit early as we only have 2 days to go, but I still want you to know that I'm wishing all of you a wonderful Christmas. While we wait by the fire with a plate of milk and cookies, it does beg the question, how does Santa Claus do it? How does he travel through the entire world in just one night? I mean, maybe he could use a Dragonite, but Dragonite can only fly around the entire world in just 16 hours. This guy does it in just a single night, and he does it all on his own. Or does he? While I do know he has a bunch of Stantler pulling on the sled, I have a thought. Maybe Santa Claus has a couple of little helpers along the way. Does Santa have elves that help him take these presents from place to place? Or does he use a bunch of Jynx during the night? Well, that's a good thought, but I think the answer has been in front of us the whole time since the Johto region and the Ice Cave. That's right. I'm of course talking about the little delivery Pokemon and the cute penguin itself, Delibird. This is who I believe is Santa's little helper. This is the Pokemon that helps him get from place to place and deliver so many presents. And even when not working with Santa, they still like to make lots of deliveries, and they're also rescuers. You know, it does kind of beg the question, what does Santa use to guide his sleigh? Does he use Stantler and a Wydeer, or does he use Delibird? Surprisingly, even though Delibird are based off of penguins, they can fly without any problem whatsoever. Kind of funny that we can finally see penguins taking flight. I know that a lot of people out there really love penguins, and I'm glad that in the world of Pokemon, we have a couple of penguins. There are some more to be discovered, and I really hope that we get more, as we don't really seem to have enough. Honestly, penguin Pokemon are adorable, and they deserve a lot more love than we give them. It looks like Santa isn't the only one that's carrying a bag this Christmas. Delibird have all the presents inside of their little tail bag. Who knows what's inside? Maybe it could be a wonderful gift. Or it could be a lump of coal that Delibird got from Colossal and Carkol. So I'm kind of curious to know, trainers, have you been naughty or have you been nice? Being a bird lover that I am, it does make me rather sad that Delibird does not get as much attention as it should. It's a really cute Pokemon. The only time it's really gotten any more attention was in Generation 9 when we finally met its Paradox relative, but we'll talk more on that later. It's a really cute Pokemon, and I think that for this holiday season, this is a perfect Pokemon to talk about. It's going to be everywhere for Christmas. So, let's learn all about Delibird and what makes it such a good helper to Santa. But before we do that, I want to give a very special thanks and shout out to artist HTTP Koopa for my jersey. Today's jersey is the Ice-type jersey, which was worn in the Galar region by Gym Leader Melanie. Since we're talking about Ice-type Pokemon, I couldn't think of a better shirt to wear than this one. If you really like these jerseys I wear in my videos, please check out HTTP Koopa on Etsy. I have a link to his Etsy shop in the description below. Show him some love and buy a shirt. Oh, and if you do, remember to tell him Professor Palm sent ya. The sleigh is packed, and I hope that all the milk and cookies are ready to go for Santa's arrival, as well as Delibird, since this Pokemon is going to be going all around giving out the gifts to the good little boys and girls, and I hope that you get some good gifts as well, trainers. Well, let's learn all about Santa's little helper, Delibird! Delibird the delivery Pokemon is based on a penguin, specifically the Rockhopper penguin. Delibird's sack-like tail also draws inspiration from the white stork, as, just like Delibird, white storks were known as delivery birds. However, Delibird's red and white color scheme and its ability to give presents draws the most inspiration from none other than the holly jolly man himself, Santa Claus. For its habitat, Delibird prefer to live in colder climates. They really love to live in the snowy areas, but where they live most of all is high on the mountains. Delibird build their nest at the edge of sharp cliffs. Although Delibird naturally prefer colder environments, there are some that live in the Alola region, as they're able to withstand the heat for a certain extent, but after some time, they return back to the chilliness of Mount Lanakila. You may not have realized this, but the sack that Delibird always keeps by its side is actually its tail. And in the wild, Delibird live in flocks, and whoever has the biggest tail gets to be the flock's leader. Inside its sack-like tail, Delibird stores items like fruits and berries. They also sometimes hold items like evolutionary stones, shards, and even treasures, as anything bright and shiny that catches Delibird's eyes goes right into its sack-like tail. Despite being based off a penguin as well as having very small wings and a very heavy sack-like tail, Delibird can learn the move Fly, and they can fly without any problem whatsoever. In fact, Delibird can be very fast flyers as they can get between 10 to 30 miles per hour the second they take flight. Just like Santa Claus, Delibird has a holly jolly and happy nature as it's very social and it loves to make friends. Delibird is very generous and it likes to make people happy by giving them gifts. Since Delibird live high in the mountains, they're also somewhat rescuers as they often come across people and Pokemon lost in the snow. With its big heart, Delibird has a generous habit of sharing its food with lost people and Pokemon in the mountains, and whenever it runs out, Delibird leaves to go get more to share for others. While Delibird has good intentions of sharing its food with both humans and Pokemon, there are times where it can be somewhat of a dimwit. Because it's an omnivore, Delibird will oftentimes give people and Pokemon its favorite food to snack on, being bug-type Pokemon. Delibird's kindness has no bounds. There are some people who believe that Delibird is a Pokemon that not only brings presents, but also a lot of luck with it. There was once a man who was given a very big stone by Delibird. When he went home, it was revealed to be a big nuggets, which made him very rich. And there was once a famous explorer who managed to reach the peak of the world's highest mountain, all thanks to Delibird rescuing him and giving him some food, giving him the motivation and determination to finish. Unfortunately, we all know that we don't live in a perfect world, and even a kind-hearted Pokemon like Delibird is not above being attacked by other wild Pokemon. When this happens, oftentimes Delibird uses many moves it knows to protect itself. But sometimes, when it doesn't know enough moves or needs to think of something else, Delibird will open its sack-like tail and throw food at other Pokemon in order to fight back. I wonder if this is where the origin of Food Fight came from. It's believed that both Stantler and Delibird play vital roles for Santa Claus when he delivers all the presents on December 25th during the night. You see, Santa uses multiple Stantler to guide his sleigh through the snow and also fly through the night sky. He then uses the Delibird to help him deliver all the presents to every home in the neighborhood he's in. Also, Delibird provide a lot of snacks for both Santa and the Stantler. Then again, some of these Pokemon might swipe a bunch of cookies as well as a bunch of glasses of milk for Santa to snack on. What can I say? The guy does a lot of work and he deserves a good snack from all of us. Just like several other Pokemon, Ponyta and Dragonite, Delibird also works for the postal service, and it always gets its deliveries done in time. While it may not be as fast as both Dragonite and Rapidash, this is a Pokemon that you can always rely on because it never fails to get the job done. Other than putting lots of treasure as well as a lot of food within its little sack-like tail, some Delibird keep their hatchlings and even eggs inside of there. This is to keep them warm through some of the harshest of blizzards. Delibird made its debut in the Pokemon Master's Quest episode, Do's and Don'ts, where a Delibird that was with an elderly talent scout from Team Rocket tried to collect their dues, and since that episode, Delibird kept following Jesse, James, and Meowth all around the Johto region to collect the money from them. But after they moved to the Hoenn region, it hasn't been seen since. In the Core Series games, despite Delibird being around since Generation 2, the first time it was either an ace or a frontrunner of anyone's team was when you took on Cena in Pokemon Sun and Moon, as Delibird served as her frontrunner. Being an Ice-type specialist, this was a really good Pokemon to have by her side. Before Generation 7, Delibird could only learn one move through Level Up, and that of course was its signature move, Present. Who doesn't love getting a present? After all, you never know what's inside, and that's the same case for when Delibird uses the move. You see, it has many different chances of what could be inside. Delibird has a 40% chance of doing damage with 40 base power, it has a 30% chance of doing damage with 80% base power, and it also has a 10% chance of doing damage with 120 base power. However, the remaining 20% can also heal your target 1/4 of the way. So yeah, opening a present is the same way with us and with Delibird. You never know what's gonna happen. Even though Delibird can learn many moves through TM, it can learn the fewest moves through Level Up, as it can only learn 2, being both Present and Drill Peck. In the Paldea region in Area 0, Delibird has a futuristic relative in the form of a Paradox Pokemon, being the Iron Bundle. While both of these Pokemon are Ice-type, the difference is that Delibird is an Ice and Flying, while Iron Bundle is an Ice and Water. Traveling with Santa can be trouble in one night, and while Delibird acts as a good bodyguard and also helps Santa in every way, it has a few weaknesses. So, when this Pokemon goes to deliver presents or has to fight in battle, it's weak to moves that are Fire type, Steel type, and Electric type. However, Electric type, Steel type, and Fire type moves are only ×2 weaknesses to Delibird. Because of its typing of Ice and Flying, it has one major weakness. And that major weakness to Delibird is none other than to moves that are Rock type. Because Rock type already does ×2 damage to Flying and to Ice, pulling them together will do ×4 damage, making Delibird very weak. Well, now that we saw what Delibird is weak to, why don't we see why it's Santa's perfect bodyguard and we check out Delibird's strengths. Traveling with Santa must be a lot of fun, especially with all those goodies that Delibird keeps within its pouch tail. Unfortunately, it can only learn the move Present through level up. However, thanks to TMs, it can learn a lot of moves because of both of its typings, Ice and Flying. And learning Ice and Flying type moves makes Delibird super effective on Pokemon that are Grass type, Flying type, Fighting type, Bug type, Dragon type, and Ground type. But Ground type also acts as a bonus for Delibird. You see, Ground type moves won't do any damage to Delibird whatsoever because of its Flying typing. Delibird flies high in the sky, so ground moves will always miss. Well, Santa sure has some good bodyguards and good little helpers by his side. These Pokemon are very strong, and also they deliver presents to everyone. What's not to love about these wonderful delivery Pokemon? Every Pokemon that Arceus created is unique, not just because of their appearance, not just because of their typing or dual typing, but because Arceus gave every Pokemon a special ability to make them really stand out. And Delibird can have either one of two. So, if you happen to catch a Delibird in the wild, it can either have the ability Vital Spirit or Hustle. A Delibird with the ability Vital Spirit will never fall asleep, no matter what. Then again, these Pokemon go with Santa in an entire night to deliver presents to all the good boys and girls. So, Santa needs all the help that he can get, especially with Pokemon that don't slack off and never fall asleep on the job. Seeing that these Pokemon never fall asleep also can be very helpful, especially in battle against Pokemon that like to make you fall asleep. And of course, some Delibird have the ability Hustle, which powers up their attack, but unfortunately lowers their accuracy. So yeah, even though their attack can be very strong, unfortunately it can also be very poor to hit. Then again, these Pokemon move very fast, and they're always in a hustle, especially when helping Santa deliver gifts. So it makes perfect sense why it has this ability. And for the hidden abilities that were introduced in Generation 5, if you use the ability patch on your Delibird, its hidden ability is revealed to be Insomnia, which just like Vital Spirit, allows Delibird to stay awake without ever falling asleep. Then again, this Pokemon travels with Santa the entire night, and Santa needs to deliver everything in just one night. Having some Pokemon that never fall asleep really can help out with that job. For this holiday season, you will not meet another Pokemon as merry as Delibird. This Pokemon has a holly jolly attitude. Not just does it look like Santa and always carries its tail around giving gifts, this Pokemon only wants to make everyone happy. So, no matter what's happening this holiday season, you know that if you see a Delibird, you're in for a happy surprise. In my opinion, even though Delibird is one of the most holly jolly Pokemon as well as the most generous, I think that it was the most robbed Pokemon. Mainly for the fact that this is a Pokemon that deserves so much potential, yet the only thing it was ever given was the Paradox Pokemon Iron Bundle. Well, I hope that in the future, maybe Delibird gets a previous evolution in the form of a baby penguin. Who wouldn't want to see a Delibird chick? Delibird is a shining example of how we really should be for the holiday season. Not just all full of joy, but also generous to those we know and those we don't. Delibird will never stop doing what it can to make others happy. This holiday season, we should do the exact same thing as Delibird. We should give gifts not just to the ones we know, but to others out there. And if we've ever had anything hard happen to us this year, or we know someone going through some hardships, let's give them some generosity and time. Let's go out of our way to make everyone happy and merry this Christmas. It's a good thing that Delibird travels with Santa and all of his reindeer. I think that the world's too big for one guy to do. While his Stantler may be fast, Delibird can do so much, and who knows what other presents they have hidden within their tail. Santa definitely has his work cut out for him, but it's a good thing that he has a lot of help. Santa Claus is a lucky guy to have Delibirds by his side, especially with all his Stantler and Jynx. He has a lot of help for the season. Well, if you're going to the tree today, remember, Santa didn't do this just on his own. He used a lot of Delibird. These Pokemon have done so much for us throughout the holidays. They truly are Santa's little helper. Welcome back, trainers. I hope that you had a wonderful time learning about Santa's little helper. Delibird is such an interesting Pokemon. I hope that your holiday season is going well, and I also hope that the new year brings a good new year to you. I know that I really am looking forward to it. Are you? Well, before we end this, I just have a few questions just for you. When it comes to the 3 final holidays of the year, which is your favorite one? Is it Halloween? Is it Thanksgiving? Or do you really like Christmas the best? We have had so many bird Pokemon introduced over the generations. I think that Ice and Flying is a very rare typing, but what typing do you think is the best paired up with for bird Pokemon? Since it's almost Christmas, I'm just curious to know, what's your favorite Christmas movie, your favorite Christmas song, and what's possibly one of your favorite Christmas memories you've ever had? If Santa Claus was a gym leader, what typing do you think he should specialize in? Do you think he should specialize in ice typing because of the snow and the cold time? Or do you think that he should specialize in normal typing? Not just because Stantler and Wydeer are normal, but because a lot of deer Pokemon are normal type. And do you like penguins, trainers? What's your favorite current penguin Pokemon we have? Do you think that we need more penguin Pokemon, or it's fine the way it is? Delibird is on its way with Santa, trainers, so remember to hang your stockings, say your prayers, because Santa Claus is on his way. Well, if you liked what you saw, please leave a like. If you have any questions, you want to answer any of the questions I threw at you, you want an idea turned into a video, or you think I should talk about something coming up in the recent news for Pokemon, then please comment. And as always, if you liked what you saw and you want to see more, smash that subscribe button. I can't believe that it's almost been 2 years since I've been a YouTuber, trainers. I'm going to do a very special video for you next week. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and Palm out!